Hey guys, welcome to another Friday. Since this week was my spring break, I was able to do something a bit fun for you for this video. But before we get there, I wanted to do a rapid fire session of all the things I wanted to talk about because there are more than I thought. First off is addressing my fellow geeks. Steph asked what we look for in a comic book shop, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm not as into comics as my fellow geeks, despite my love of superhero things. But I have been to the various comic book shops around my city, town, whatever, and they all have pretty much the same vibe. They're decked out in nerdy things, posters all over the wall, figurines in the shelves, comic books adorning every wall you see, and awesome little geeky toys. So I don't think the geeks in my town really have anything to complain about in our comic book shops. Coolio, I hope your allergies don't kill you. Luluco, I hope you have an awesome time at Fanime. Had I realized before now that it was actually the beginning of summer, I would have tried to make it there despite the fact that I don't actually have a costume to wear there except for all of my old ones that I've already worn and aren't good without the groups they belong to. And besides the lack of costume, I'm also saving up to go to the Wizarding World this summer, finally, with a friend, so I can't really afford to spend the money to go to Fanime, but I might be able to drive down on like the last day or something and just hang out with you guys. And Mario. I assume you're judging my hand-eye coordination based on my inability to sheathe the sword in my last video. However, I would like to jog your memory about this and fill you in on the fact that I played softball for 12 years of my life, so my hand-eye coordination is fine. And wielding a sword isn't quite the same as wielding a bat, but it's similar enough that I think I'd be able to hack you to pieces. Wow, I feel like that was super hostile. You know I think you're awesome. That being said, I look forward to your comic book suggestion video next week, assuming Steph hasn't crawled out of your bathroom cabinet and murdered you. Now for the super rapid fire topics. The first clip from the Avengers movie was released with Black Widow being badass awesome. For those familiar with the Guild, they released a new nerdy anthem video called I'm the One That's Cool. For those unfamiliar with them, it's awesome and you should still go see it. The Hollywood Hunger Games parody I mentioned in my last video that wasn't up quite yet is now, along with a behind the scenes and blooper video hosted on another channel in which you can see me working the camera on the fun little cheap chair dolly thing. And last but not least, a geeky sketch directed by my friend Haley, who you've seen in my previous pictures, has finally been released on Nerdlocker. It's called Douchebag Avengers, and it's short and hilarious, and you should check it out. And now that we've covered all that, on to the fun thing. Okay.
Alright, now let's see if I just...
No! Don't break it!
I wasn't gonna break it, I was just gonna...
Move! Greetings, viewers of YouTube!
You don't gotta be so formal, Red. Hiya, folks, Harley Quinn here. Now let's start him off with a joke. It's a good way to lead him in. How come a bike couldn't stand on its own? It was too tired!
Harley, this is supposed to be serious. Now, it's officially springtime, and that means you actually need to water your plants, idiots. Now, depending on the size of your plants, you might actually need to water them more than once. What are you doing?
You and Batman are making out.
That's Green Lantern.
Well, it's the only green sock you had, and let's be honest here, you and Green Lantern have a lot in common. You're both green, and you're both boring.
Harley!
My turn. Okay, let's talk about something really important. My new stupid costume change. Have you seen how I look in Suicide Squad? I look so dumb. Who would turn this perfect 10 into a perfect 2? And you know what? That's giving her more credit than she deserves. She turns my perfect blonde hair into blue and red. Do I look like the American flag to you? No. I am Harley Quinn. I am the princess of crime. I am not some silly little girl wearing like cardboard on her boobies and smushing them up to here, and walking out with a big old hammer and then hugging Deadshot like, ew, I love you. No. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. Do you see this? This is grade A quality costume right here. And to outdo that with some stupid little booty shorts, like, are we serious here? Are we serious?
Harley,
Now,
no one cares about your costume.
no one cares about your stupid plants.
What?
What are your plants?
We are leaving.
Shouldn't we put it back in the chair? You know what I like to see in the comic book store? A whole bunch of geeks bowing down and adoring me. And they're like, oh my god, Harley Quinn, you're so hot. And I'm like, I know, right? But then when I walk in, it's posters of Mr. J everywhere, the Killing Joke, and oh, he looks sexy with that camera, don't he? When he's shot. I love when he shoots her, and then she gets paralyzed. It's so funny. What, you don't get the joke? Mind you say what you like about stupid comic books.
I couldn't care less what the people are like or what the comic book store looks like as long as they have used recycled materials for all of their books.
Like how geeks kind of recycle their virginity?